It's gutsy. It's gutsy. Can we still do it? Yeah, whatever. This is not a coward stream. It's not a coward stream.
I have so many new weapons. Oh, give up already. You're outnumbered.
Boom, boom, yes! Oh, that was fun. That was fun. Greetings, all my happy friends, and welcome back to the MTG Struggle Bus, where I struggle more. So hopefully you can struggle a little less in your journey through the world of Magic. We're at it again, this time capitalizing on another unpopular but super cool card in the form of Cosuming Blob. So we are running an Abzan, mainly Golgari splashing white, mid-range deck that capitalizes on having all different kinds of card types in the deck, so we can pitch to the void, graveyard, so we can make our blob huge. I'll explain why in a moment. Cosuming Blob is a star +1 ooze for 3 green. Cosuming Blob's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. At the beginning of your end step, create an green ooze token with this creature's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. So it almost makes a copy of itself, except it is omitting the make a copy part of it, right? So, excuse me, you're kind of, if you guys remember the old card Lurgoyf, you're kind of making copies of Lurgoyf, which the purpose of our deck today is to try to make this guy as big as possible, which I believe is a 6/7, and then just keep making 6/7s every turn. Now we do have a couple additional synergies in the deck to make extra tokens because of the fact that these are tokens. So I'm trying to go really deep in the Cosuming Blob thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. We're running, let's start at the mana base. We're running 3 Field of Ruins because, you know, creature lands are annoying. We're running 1 Arctic Tree Line as a green-white source because it does count as a forest that we can go search up with our Binding of the Old Gods. 4 Woodland Chasms, 4 Deathcap Glades, which are only that, and Field of Ruins are only non-snow permanent. 6 lands, correction. Excuse me, 6 snow-covered forests, 6 snow-covered swamps, and then 1 snow-covered plains. We're only running 2 white sources, but I think between Field of Ruin and some additional searching that we have in the deck, that is fine because we're only running 2 white cards. The 1-drop slot, we are running 3 Neverwinter Dryads. This is a 1/1 Dryad for a green. Pay 2, sacrifice Neverwinter Dryad. Search your library for a basic forest card, put it into the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle. We're running this because it is a way to ramp to get us to 5 as quickly as possible, which sometimes makes the difference in the game, and it puts a creature in our graveyard. We're running 2 Snakeskin Veils. This is an instant for a green. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. So because we're going deep on the game of the Cosuming Blob game plan, I want a way to protect it, right? So we don't just play it, they kill it, and we're done. And it puts an instant in the graveyard. So that's why we're running it. I like this card a lot. A lot of times this can completely win you the game on its own. So we're running that. We are running 2 Infernal Grasp. This is an instant for 1 black. Destroy target creature, you lose 2 life. So just a catch-all, be-all removal, and instant. We're running a legendary enchantment in the form of the Meathook Massacre. This is X black. When the Meathook Massacre enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. So, enchantment plus board wipe. Dryad's Revival is a sorcery that we can pitch and also get back later. Another way to get back our Dryads or our Consuming Greed should we need to Cosuming Blobs. It is a sorcery for 2 green. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand, and then flashback 4 and a green. So just redundancy in the deck. We're running 2 Roiling Regrowths. This is an instant for 2 green. Sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So puts a land in the graveyard and puts an instant in the graveyard and lets us fix and ramp. All right, so here's the reason for the white splash. I had these. I wanted to try them out. I think it's good in the deck. Kaya, Geist Hunter, is a 3 loyalty planeswalker. She comes in, or Kaya, for 1 white black. And then +1, creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature token you control. It's a little awkward because it is a token. We can't put it on our Cosuming Blob, but we can't put it on the tokens he creates or it creates. But, you know, sometimes giving our team Death Touch is kind of nice, makes blocking kind of awkward, right? But here's the reason why we're running it in the deck, the -2. Till end of turn, if 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. So we're kind of capitalizing on tokens from Blob, so we get 2 at the end of turn instead of 1, but we also have Ren and Cadillac that we'll go over in a minute, so there are multiple ways to make tokens in this deck. So it's not only just for Blob, but it is really sweet. And we do get to go off 1 time. We're running a Celestus. This is another artifact that we can put into play or pitch to the graveyard. And it is 3 generic mana. If it is neither day nor night, it becomes day as the Celestus enters the battlefield. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, so obviously we get to ramp with it or fixing if we need to, and then pay 3 and tap. If it's night, it becomes day, otherwise it becomes night. Activate only as a sorcery. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you gain 1 life, which is sweet. You may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So once again, able to chum through our deck looking for gas, and we can pitch cards to the graveyard to facilitate a larger blob. All right, we're running 3 Asika's Chariot. This is an artifact that, so as you can see, I'll show you the split at the end, but it's a 4/4 vehicle for 3 green. When Asika's Chariot enters the battlefield, create 2 2/2 green cat creature tokens. Whenever Asika's Chariot attacks, create a token that's a copy of a target token you control, crew of 4. So another way to make tokens, so with Kaya we can make 4 2/2 cats, or we can use it to also copy Cosuming Blob tokens. So that's why that's in the deck, and it's an artifact should it die. We're running 3 Binding of the Old Gods. It is a saga for 2 green black. Destroy a target non-land permanent and opponent controls. So it's our removal package. Search your library for a forest card, put it into the battlefield tap, then shuffle. So it lets us get our white source if we need to. And it is not really ramp because it comes into play tapped, but it still fixes and gets us up there. And then finally, creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. Another important thing about this is the saga. So once it's done with chapter 3, it does go to the graveyard. So another way to increase the size of our Cosuming Blob. We're running 1 Ashaya Soul of the Wild. It is a star elemental for 3 green. Ashaya Soul of the Wild's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. So the main reason for running this is just kind of another creature that we can kind of get back that's beefy, right? As well as the fact that we are running Dollhouse that makes token creatures of everything that you exile. So we can make a huge Ashaya, kind of acting like another Ren and 7 token, right? And sometimes it's relevant making a bunch of forest out of your creatures for the ramp, etc., etc. So that's why she's in there. Probably a flex slot in the deck, honestly, but once again, I think the fact that Dollhouse is going to do some work in this deck, not completely busted, makes it worth including her because it ignores the 1/1, right? So, which actually, now that I think about it, I don't think it does because of an interaction the Cosuming Blob had. So I actually could be wrong. Not 100%. This might actually be something that does go in the deck. We didn't get a chance to play it in the videos, unfortunately. I mean, we did, but I'll get into it in a minute. We talked about Blob. Ren and 7. Ren and 7 is another good synergistic card with Blob because he is a 5 loyalty planes. She is a 5 loyalty planeswalker that comes in for 3 green. Then you can +1 reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all land cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. So a way to put a bunch of different card types into the graveyard to fuel our Cosuming Blob. 0. Put any number of lands from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Sometimes it comes into play relevant. But -3, create a green tree folk creature token with reach, and this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. So a way to put a token on the board, 2 with Kaya. We can double it with Chariot. Everyone's seen that on the ladder. And it's just a great all-around card. It works good. It's synergistic with the deck. We're running 1 Diregraph Rebirth as a way to get our Consuming Blobs back from the graveyard after our opponent kills them. It is a sorcery for 3 green black. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature that died this turn, so it combos great with board wipes. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, and then flashback 5 black green. Dollhouse of Horrors is an artifact, and our opponent may want to kill it, or we may just pitch it with Ren, so that's why it's in the deck. It diversifies our card types, but for 5, you get an artifact. 5 generic, you get an artifact. Pay 1 generic and tap, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of the exiled card, except it's a 0/0 construct artifact in addition to its other types. And it has, this creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. It gains haste until end of turn, activate only as a sorcery. So the big thing is that it's a way to get back our Consuming Blob and makes a token out of it. So now we can even copy the Consuming Blob token that makes more blobs and oozes, and you guys can see the good stuff. Now, that being said, we did get a chance to do this interaction in one of our games, and I'll go ahead and just say the fact that it does make the construct a 0/0 means that it doesn't register the blob's power and toughness equal to the card types. So it is still going to come back as a 1/1 or 2/2 if you have 2 constructs. So that's a little bit of a nombo. Maybe enough to not include in the deck, I'm not sure. The big thing is it's still going to make those big oozes. So I think it's fine, honestly. But if you want this to be your second copy of Celestis, I think that's fine. Yeah, but once again, the idea is that we could play Kaya minus her, or if she's in play minus her, then activate Dollhouse to get back 2 blobs that obviously make 2 oozes, and you guys see the steamroll there. So that's, and then finally we're running on the top end 3 Blood on the Snows. It is a 4 black sorcery. Destroy all creatures or destroy all planeswalkers. Then return a creature or planeswalker card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of snow spent to cast a spell. Another way of getting back Blob. Lastly, so you guys could see the breakdown of the deck, we're running 8 creatures, 6 instances, 5 sorceries, 5 artifacts, 6 enchantments, and 5 planeswalkers, rounding it up with 25 lands. So as you can see, we have an even disbursement of all the various card types to hopefully maximize chances of our Blob being ginormous. And of course, last but definitely not least, shout out to a special viewer this show. It's going to go to Xiao Fong ER. Thank you so much for just hanging out, subbing to the channel, and watching stuff. Really appreciate it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the deck. I like Consuming Blob. It's a card that drew my attention when I saw it spoiled. I hope it's a favorite for you guys. But yeah, without further ado, let's see how far this ooze can spread. Alright, Dryad seems decent. Dryad into potential Celestis doesn't seem too bad. So we're going to keep this. Our opponent's going first, so we may be able to fire off this Dryad. So I want to see why not. Alright, and we have an untapped source, so we're going to go ahead and run out Dryad. Looks like they're able to kill it with the Play with Fire. Fair enough. Nothing we could really do about that. Spike Field, which is terrible, because it also exiles it. So our Blob is still borderline worthless, but we are going to be able to maybe ramp into, I guess, nothing really. Egg, okay. Potentially deal with an egg. Potentially. See if the Binding of the Old Gods, very bad, divide by 0 targets. So we'll see. We'll be hard pressed to believe one of these is going to resolve. But we have 2. Maybe we draw land. We could play around Gerard Disruption. We did not, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and get out there anyways. They disrupt this one. They do not. Nice. Alright, alright. Fair. Missed our land drop of note. Another iteration from our opponent. Cosuming Blob still being a lonely 0-1. Not really what we're looking for, but we are going to get to Chariot. Iteration into iteration seems solid. Opponent playing all kinds of spells. Are we going to be able to get something going here? Let's find out. So we could get Blob going should we want to, right? They don't have any creature lands. So let's go ahead and just get Chariot on the board. And at least that way we have some aggression going, right? Start pressuring our opponent's life total. We'll leave back Chariot for when we can fire it off with the Blob. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. We're getting an enchantment, so it's going to be a 1-2. There we go. We're going to get to draw, discard. We're going to take that action. And a Wren and 6. Let's go ahead and pitch the instant. I don't think we're going to need that. Nice. Let's go ahead and attack. We have the combo, but I think I'd rather make sure we just kill that. 1, 2, 3. And actually, we could do both, can't we? Let's go ahead and do that. That off the board. And let's see. We're kind of good to grab whatever. So let's just grab black here. And then we will go ahead and fire off the Wren and 7. They divide by 0. Fair. Fair. They're going to destroy our Celestis, maybe? I mean, we're getting up there. Blob's getting up there. All right. Looking pretty good for us, honestly. This is a sorcery speed, so they have to fire it off now if they want to. That's exactly what they're going to do, which leaves the door open for us. Let's get in there for 2. And then I think we start triggering off these blobs. Because that still makes us 2 threats. Fading Hope. Roger that. Counting their mana, so this may or may not be an Epiphany turn. A Leer. Alright. Let's go ahead and try to kill Leer. Let's see if that works or not. We have all kinds of answers here. I think it's still worth it. Interesting. And then they're going to Fading Hope their Leer. Okay, fair. Access to a plethora of things. I think I like our hands. We're going to decline. Another Blob is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just get Blob going, I think. Apply the most amount of pressure to our opponent. I think I like that a little bit better. Should have probably still drawn and discard, but you know, 2 4/5s I think is better than a 1 2 1 6 6 and a Planeswalker. Right? They have access to start from scratch, get rid of the Celestis, Divide by 0 and all the spells, right? Yeah. I think I like where we're at here. Might drop Ren and 7 and just minus to fuel up the graveyard a little bit. This is quite a bit of pressure, though, we're putting our opponent on, which is kind of nice. So let's see if we can get him down. Divide by 0. Interesting. I see, because they wanted to draw more. Fair, fair. And they scoop it up. Interesting. So our opponent is going first. We have one piece of ramp, and that's about it. But we do have blood on the snow. It's kind of close. Yeah, I think blood in the snow might be enough to get us there, right? I mean, we're only really punished if this is mono white, which it could easily be, but thankfully it is not, so we get a pass. Dryad's revival, not really the strongest thing. I mean, we can also just simply get back the ooh, there we go. Okay, black white. Not snow though, so that gives us a step the right direction, I guess. Fair enough. So black white tokens, it looks like. Not gonna really grasp that. Ooh. Huh. Was not expecting to get that early. We're still just gonna go ahead and fire this off. Fuel up the old blob a little bit. Get a instant and a land. We'll go ahead and sack the yeah, we gotta go get the white now. So we'll take the 1 here. See if our opponent plays a Edgar here or not. Yeah, I think because we have the Kai in hand plus the blob, I think there's some benefit to plussing. I mean, obviously we can't just play the Kaya because of what's going on here, but I guess we gotta do what we gotta do. Question is, do we get our second green or just go for our second black because of blood on the snow, right? I think we get our second green. Issue is that they're gonna have removal, right? And it's most likely gonna be an exile effect, which is unfortunate. Let's get green and white. We could still play our Binding of the Old God should we draw it. Chariot. I think I still wouldn't have mind a land here, and of course our opponent left up mana. We do need to get on the board though, so these tokens don't get like ridiculous. So let's go ahead and just Chariot this turn. Push comes to shove, we could Dryad's Revival for the land, but I think having a solid play here like Chariot is probably okay. Buy us some time. It's like I said, unfortunate the fact that we missed our land drop there, but the good news is we are able to keep up Snakeskin Veil should we fire up the Chariot, and I wonder if that's worth doing that for the blob as well, to be honest with you. We already have an instant. There's the Edgar. Okay, fair enough. So the good news here is that we can fire up the Chariot. Right? We could fire up the Chariot and then grasp. Man, missing another land is rough. It's definitely not what we wanted to see. We can minus Kaya. We can minus Kaya to make 2 more blockers. The only problem is because we missed the land, that also means we can't Infernal Grasp Edgar. We can attack with Chariot, make a dude, and then maybe they block with Edgar. We still have the blood on the snow as well to buy us some time. Maybe we just do that. We might be able to sneak a dude though. Let's see if we can. I mean, we're gonna kill Edgar either way, right? When does this happen? The beginning of your upkeep. Shoot. Maybe I do want to wait so they don't get the token actually. question is, do I commit to the mess up or not? And of course, if we had grabbed the land, we could have left it up. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna... man, but then we didn't even have blocker. We were taking quite a bit of damage here. Think, Jedi. Yeah. Ooh, and you're gonna tap the black for me? Let's just grab a land. It feels pretty horrible. But let's just grab the land, and I'm gonna eat my mistake here and just not attack. For some reason, I was thinking I was at the end step, but that's when Wedding Festival triggers. Borrowed time, okay. So now, do we want to save our chariot, right? Or do we want to take a ton of... Man, I'm paying so hard for that mistake. I'm not even gonna lie. Let's go ahead... Oh, wait a minute. We can't even do it. Alright, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, I paid the price. What a huge mistake. That's kind of crazy. But, hey, we call it the struggle bus for a reason, my friends. We call it the struggle bus for a reason. Yeah, that was absolutely huge. Alright. Yeah, and it's funny. The turn we could have done the Ren and 7 trick. That's funny. Let's see here. It's only been 2-3. And once again, we're sure they have removal. Do we plus looking for the land? We have 2 blockers. And we have the Blood in the Snow. We have 2 Rens. Yeah, I'm just gonna... I know... Yeah, I think I'm just gonna plus here. Make sure we hit our land drops, fuel our graveyard, you know? Player tap land and no attacks. So we just threw an instant... Alright, there we go. Instant creature sorcery. Okay, and probably Planeswalker. Okay, and then we got the Snakeskin Veil. Fair, clean, clean. We'll double block, or we'll block here. Keep our life total up. I mean, I guess. I kind of feel like it's safe now to fire off this 1, 2, 3. Man, we could also... I think we just blob here. We just blob here and we have Snakeskin Veil, so this is going to allow us to kind of gum up the board a little bit. Our opponent's also been missing land drops. We could easily get Lulthed here, I guess. Let's see, here comes the removal spell. We do have the Dryad's Revival. It's interesting. Opponent chooses not to attack. Alright, fair. Fair enough. I wonder if this is where we Kaya get 2 more 4/5s, right? Doesn't seem horrible. We can start pressuring our opponent a little bit here. Also make a token. Well, we can actually do both. That sounds kind of sweet, doesn't it? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's get in there, see what our... Oh, the only problem with that, though, is we lose the Snakeskin Veil. Ooh. Oh, man. I like that. I like that quite a bit, honestly. So, does that make me feel like the opponent's going to board wipe us next turn? I guess we still stay with 2 Planeswalkers, right? Well, oh wait, this happens on our at the beginning of their upkeep, so they would kill their Egger as well. It's gutsy. It's gutsy. Can we still do it? Yeah, whatever. This is not coward stream. It's not coward stream.
I have so many new weapons. Oh, give up already. You're outnumbered.
Boom, boom, yes. Oh, that was fun. That was fun. So don't blood on the snow me, bro. That's it. Just don't blood on the snow me. It felt pretty good. Felt pretty good. We did our thing. I mean, we added what? 24 power on the board in one turn after missing land drops. And, you know, so, alright, there's the Vanishing. Fair. Interesting they did not target our blob. So, you know, clearly now we start to get on the aggressive side. Kaya's not going to do much for us, unfortunately. Man, and we're drawing lands here. Do we want a Revival here? Problem is, Revival is a sorcery, right? We can also just grab another Ooze. I want to keep the Planeswalker. This is where it gets a little awkward.
Need a weapon?
Oh man, now I wish we had Overwhelm, right? Let's see, this just dies to Edgar. If we attack here, it does have Death Touch though, so we get to kill two things. We can always just attack here. They have to block with everything. Yeah, let's attack here and here and keep pressuring our opponent. I think that's fine. Or do we save our guy? Kind of want to keep our blob going. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Wait, why are you... Oh, because of Death Touch. Got it, got it, got it. Shoot. I think we do just leave up the... Oh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we didn't even need to make that trade. Oh, you guys saw that. Man. Yeah, we need... They have a cave. Actually, gosh, there was so many things about that attack was bad now that I think about it. Yeah, because just cave was... Oh, man, Jedi. Yeah, I could have put the counter on the tree folk. I could have played the land. Yeah, that was so bad. That was so bad. What is our opponent? Oh, they have red in their deck. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely messed up with Cave. Create a 3/2, deals 3 damage to any target. Cosuming Blob puts... Alright, fair.
Next time, I better get paid.
Well, I feel like now we just revival at the sake of our dudes being worse, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if we play our Chasm, we'll be able to get yeah, let's just start pressuring our opponent now. Probably good. Yeah, they're good. Barrett. Okay, cool. Man, 4/5s feel pretty good. Yeah, and that's our only sorcery right now. We do get... Man, it's kind of... Yeah, you know what? That's fine. I think getting Ren and 7 back is strong enough incentive. We're going to continue to pressure our opponent, so I think this is fine. So maybe they're going for a meat hook. We still get to keep the tree folk alive, right? Man, this even with those misplays, like I think we're still in decent shape. They're gonna meat hook for 5. We could save this one. I don't hate that actually. right? We're going to lose our blob regardless, so let's just save this blob. And that might have been a mistake, right? That might have been a mistake just because this is what's going to win us the game. Play land pre-combat so I don't make that mistake again. And then let's go ahead and play Dryad just to have another blocker for Sorin. I mean, they have 3 cards in hand. There's Lolth, okay. So Lolth is going to be a problem because we do not have life gain and they're going to have a ton of chump blockers. So I'm wondering if... I don't think we ace base. Five, 8, 11. So they could definitely kill our tree folks, unfortunately. Which is a little awkward. Yeah, them being able to generate so many chump blockers is a little... Yeah, losing that second tree folk was a huge mistake. I think we could have definitely pressured our opponent a lot better if we had not lost that tree folk, so... Another land, not really what we wanted to see here. Let's see if we get anything. Alright. 12. 5... 8, 11. So they have to block with everything to kill one of them. These guys are 6/7s now. I think I just keep pressuring their life total here. Issue with this, of course, is that they could just chump block and then kill our Ren. We don't want to click Planeswalker. So let's leave back this dude and just pressure their life total. And they're just going to chump block. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, this is gonna be
in exchange for loyalty.
This is gonna be a bit of an issue.
I will not cry.
We may just die to the meat hook, unfortunately.
My will cannot be denied.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm hungry. Won't you I will cull the weak.
Man, I'm halfway tempted. How do we do this? Come on, deck. Alright, so... Play land for sure. Do we make another dude? Or do we go for more lands, right? We already used one. I guess we can pitch Revival. And this is so awkward. They have so much on the board. Play this so we can pump these more if we need to, as because we could wipe the board with creatures, right? From all creatures, but then she gets a ton of we just die, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we just man, I'm not quite sure what we do here. Oh, we're just dead anyways, right? Like, we're darned if we do, darned if we don't. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the not having trample kind of ended up finding us in the bum a little bit, didn't it? Oh, we had a Field of Ruin for their creature land. Did we pitch? Nope. Yeah, I guess we're just dead, are we? Nothing really we could do about it. That's unfortunate. Man. I don't know. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you guys think I should have I mean missed playing losing that dude. Do they not see it? They could just literally block with everything when we die. Okay, I think they do see it. Fair. So, how can we do this so we don't die this turn? So let's see. These two are fine. These two are fine. And then let's kill... Edgar gives them another blocker. We have to... Oh, no. Yeah, so we go this way. Alright. And then when we do damage, we do all our damage to the spider and not to Edgar. So... Alright. Yes. Those two. And then put all our damage on here. None to Edgar. And then like this. And then we're at 1. Yeah, the only problem is the Field of Ruin. So...
Do what I demand.
We should just minus, I guess. Yeah, I like all kinds of messed up here, right? We should just minus. Alright. Destroy all planeswalkers. Pay with all snow. I think we're still gonna die because of the Field of Ruin, unfortunately.
We must regenerate.
Oh, we can get Ren back and then minus. Okay, okay. Because I almost thought about getting Blob. Okay, get Ren back. Minus. We have a blocker in the air.
The entire forest is an army.
Yeah, I still think we lose. I needed the Field of Ruin to destroy the land without killing a creature. Because we could chump block Edgar with a Dryad, right? And then we don't lose a lot. They don't lose. Oh man. The life game. All right, nicely done, opponent. Nicely done. I mean, 3 lulls. So what are we gonna do, right? They played a great game. They played a great game. Let's see. And they didn't fire up the land either, so we could play the land. Do we have any life gain in this deck? I don't remember if we do or not. Blood on the Snow again. Field of the Ruin. Let's get rid of... We could block that land, so let's get rid of that. Let's grab... Doesn't matter. Oh man, chat. What am I looking for? I don't... So we can attack? They have 3 blockers. Gosh, and that's just enough too. What am I missing? What am I missing? We could +0. Oh, and that would be lethal too! The fact that they had 3 blockers is so awkward. That lull did it, man. I think we had a chance. Because we can even sack these. Make a treat. Let me think. Make a treat. We could sack these in response. Oh, no, we can't because they gain life. So that's not going to be enough. So we have to +0 or 0. Put both these lands into play. That makes these guys 16s. Oh, I should have sent one to Lolth. That was my bad. I don't know why I didn't send one to Lolth. Good game. Meat Hook killed us. Darn it. Alright, our opponent's going first. We have a Kaya and a Blob in hand, plus our rolling regrowth. This could be a risky keep, but I think we do keep it. Puts us a turn ahead on Blob, starts to fuel our Blob as well as giving us access to Kaya. This may... Mono green, okay. We'll see how this plays out. Not mono green? Oh, okay. Alright, so... may have to run our Roiling Regrowth into counter magic. Let's see what our opponent does here. Field trip. Okay, so blue ramp. Okay. Fair enough. They're off to a better start than we are, but it's not the worst. Excellent. There's our double black. I'm just going to go ahead and do this now to avoid any potential counter magic, right? We'll go white, green, and then we have Snakeskin Veil, but they're also playing blue. So we're just going to go ahead and fire off the blob instead of a Shia. A Shia does let us ramp. We have binding for, what is it? It could be anything, honestly. Let's just get Blob on the board, because it ends up making 2 creatures instead of 1, even though Ashaya is bigger. And then next turn, we can Kaya minus leave up Snakeskin Veil. They're going to Teachings, so we have to be cognizant of... Alright, they have the Divide by 0. We still get a creature left on the board if that's what they got. Hopefully they wait till our turn to do it. That'd be pretty nice. Yeah, because they could still Teachings here. Oh, they did already. My mistake. So... keep clicking our blob. Fading Hope. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Not much we could do there. Definitely glad we didn't Ashaya then. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we could... yeah. Alright, let's get in there, I guess. Start taking some life away. We'll just blob again, I guess, unfortunately. Then leave up the Snakeskin Veil. Fading Hope. Not really much we could do about that, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can get Hullbreakered or Epiphanied. Deluge, okay. So they're digging. So I think we're just gonna minus Kaya. 1, 2, 3. Maybe another blob. Yeah, I think just getting Kaya going isn't the worst here. Hold the second blob. I mean, that does flood the board. I'm trying to think. Do they have the mass board wipe? I don't think so, actually. Maybe it is just another blob here. Ashaya does let us attack through Hullbreaker, though. Alright, let's go into the red zone first. Get that taken care of. They're chump blocking. Interesting. Let's Ashaya here. And that might be a mistake. Like, maybe we just want to go, like, wide on our opponent. Though, I think plussing Kaya might actually work. Giving everything Death Touch, so then they all can attack through a Hullbreaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we could still get Hullbreaker here. Revival is nice. So let's plus Kaya and then A space. Is that weird? Like, yeah, I think we do that so we can counter the Hullbreaker.
Yeah,
I think we're just gonna plus her.
I'll make it look good too.
And then we have...
Fighting the undead is my specialty.
if we don't attack with this one, we have enough to play Binding of the Old Gods and they're tapped out. I think that's correct. And then it also gives us 2 blockers for Kaya. They're gonna chump block. Fair. Interesting. Fading Hope. Okay, alright. So I was playing a little conservative, but I still think it's correct. We can go grab Snakeskin Veil if we want. They top that. Yeah, let's go ahead and just grab the Snakeskin Veil. So we missed out on some damage, but once again, no, we didn't, because it was correct. If they Hull Breaker there, we would have had the Binding of the Old Gods. So now we at least get to keep our Ashaya or our Blob on the ground. They're gonna gain some more life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doomscar. Fair enough, opponent. I was not... How'd they... Wow, yeah, alright, I don't feel bad. I was like, I'm... Okay, so then they fire up the layer. Nice, nice. Fair enough. Doomscar in blue-white. That's super cool. I was not expecting that. Not gonna lie, at all. Were you? That was super cool. Like, shout out to our opponent. Oh man, we can't double blob. Man, unfortunate. Exile all cards from all graveyards, then create for each card exiled this way. I don't know if our ultimate is good enough. I don't think it is. I think we just minus and play another blob. I think playing blob is better.
Friends in all kinds of places.
What did you now? Just fire the old blob again. That's what we're here to do. End the turn. Okay, okay, okay. We have some resilience. There's the white. They're gonna deluge. We have lethal on the board, right? What creature type are we missing? Or what are we missing? So, Planeswalker. Let's see. Creature, sorcery, instant, land. So, enchantment. Maybe we should fire off the binding then. I mean, obviously we can't pitch it. So, we don't have lethal because they could obviously fire up a Hydra for 1. No, they can't. Because it's 1 to activate as well. Okay. So, they need to play a land here. And we got it. We're on the play. Unfortunately, our green source comes into play tapped, so our Dryad isn't going to ramp us. But we have Chariot into Blob, and then Dollhouse as support. Why not? Let's try this. This could punish us a little bit. It's kind of funny, actually, that every time we've had Blowing the Snow in our hands, it was kind of irrelevant, right? And this time we don't. Alright, let's go ahead and... Sure. Okay, so we are gonna get to ramp into our blob. Opponent's got Fading Hope. Fair enough. Fair enough. That is aggressive, and it's actually fine. Just because we really don't have a turn 3 play. So we were gonna kind of do this anyways. And there's our white source for Kaya. So excellent. Things are all coming in according to plan. Going against Is It. So this is gonna be a little tough for us. Fading. All right. I'll take it. Man, our opponent's really being aggressive about these Fading Hopes. I mean, I hope that's a good sign for us. We're probably going to Cadillac here, just to play around the Gerari Disruption. There's no real reason to play into it, right? If we can avoid it. If they have Divide by 0, they have Divide by 0. But, alright, it resolves. Fair enough. There was a pause, though. So, interesting to see. And the good thing about... Well, I guess not the good thing, because we can't really do the whole Ren trick, right? Of playing Blob because the token comes at the end of the turn. Opponent's not doing anything here. Interesting, interesting. Alright, cool. And we can continue to play around. We could fire up the Dollhouse, but I don't think we want to. And I think I'm going to go ahead and play around any shenanigans they may have and just attack here. This feels like their Toxic Deluge turn. So, but once again, let's go ahead and play around the Gerari Disruption here, and we'll blob. Would feel so much better if we had the Snakeskin Veil here, but... Oh, yeah, this might be a mistake, actually. Just because if they had, like, the 2 damage spell, they can kill it, right? Okay, that resolves. And we already have our white. Do we want double white? Yeah, might as well, I guess. Right? We have double green, triple green, sure. Oh, it was a Ren and 7 on top. Unlucky, dude. It actually did us a favor, ironically enough, now that I think about it. So thank you, opponent. I appreciate that. I mean, now the question is, are they the Izzet deck that runs Doomscar or not Doomscar, I'm sorry, Demon Bolt? Or do they run a Braid? Unexpected Windfall, okay. They're doing this on their turn, though, so we're going to get in a decent-sized attack here, which I appreciate. So the question is, we're probably going to go ahead and take advantage of this and run out the Dollhouse. Oh, okay, they're going to bounce it. Fair. That is reasonable. Divide by 0. Checks out, checks out. Yeah. Nothing we can do here. Yeah, so see here, if we had Snakeskin Veil, I think it would have been a blowout. That would put an instant... So these would have been 3/4s. We would have made copies. Another blob. Okay. So unfortunately, we're not in a position to obviously run out the Dollhouse. But that's okay. Let's queue this up here and here. And then we'll make an ooze token. Okay. We have a board state. Oh, why'd you tap like that? Oh, because this was tapped. Okay, that's right. I was like, awkward. Environmental Sciences. That's a good sign. Now, they do have... If they're going to grab a land here, right? So they do have the ability to Galvanic Iteration and then double Fading Hope, which I've seen these decks do quite a bit. And our opponent keeps it up. Our opponent goes first. We're missing white for Kaya. We have Blob and Rebirth, but like I said, this hand really doesn't do anything. So I think we're going to mulligan, unfortunately. And this hand is even worse. Double Field of Ruin with all... I mean, if we had a green source, I think we would have been fine with the Dryad. But we're going to go... Alright, there we go. We'll keep this and... We have to tuck 2 cards. No, I don't want to lose my Dollhouse. Awkward. All right, let's tuck the Dryad and the Dollhouse because we may need the Meadow Massacre to get... Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. It is both our recursion spells for sure, but I want to see how Dollhouse works, right? Okay, we may have some time here. Ooh. So, man, the question is now, do we run this... Yeah, I think we're okay running this out, actually. I mean, what they have to have Shambling Ghast plus a 1-mana sack effect to punish us for this, right? If they Infernal Grasp, I don't think it's the end of the world. Alright, let's go ahead and attack. Get in for a 1. Okay. So, seeing our opponent play blue-black... No, actually, I think I'm fine keeping the Masker, right? Because it could deal with a Sedgemoor Witch. I think we always still just ramp. I mean, being on the draw helped a little bit. The mulligan... Oh, wow, okay. And this is, what, divide by 0? Yeah, sure. It resolves. Interesting. I was not expecting that. I would have felt a little silly, obviously, if they had the Jari Disruption, but I think against blue-black we have to be proactive instead of just letting them set up their game plan. You know, I'll be honest with you, I don't think this deck is positioned well enough to deal with blue-black, only because of the fact that they're so... so they have to have a kill spell, right? I think we don't fire up the Chariot at the risk of, like, not kind of steamrolling, right? And let's just get in for 2. Or 4, I'm sorry. So what? They didn't have a counter spell last turn, so I'm just going to fire up this Dollhouse. I feel like they're going to just Deluge here. So they're setting up for Leer. There's the Deluge. And maybe we should have attacked. I don't know. We're not going to pull the Dryad just yet. That way our oozes do something. Plus we may want to do it post Meat Hook, right? So... I don't think they're going to tap out for Leer. I don't know, maybe I should have attacked with Chariot just to throw off their tempo. What kind of removal is they run like Infernal Grasp and that's it, right? There's Hall of the Storm Giants. Regrowth, okay. I'm just gonna get in for another 4. I have to remember this thing's only as a sorcery. Oh, you know what? It makes a token though, actually. I should have just done that. With us not having an ooze. Because making the tokens, yeah. Now I think about it. Alright, there's the Massacre. Fair. Okay. And the token's not going to be enough to suit this up. Okay. That resolves, unfortunately. So this is like a more traditional control deck, because I don't think the normal one runs Meat Hook. I could be wrong, though. They're also not running Snowland. Well, that's the snow. Not having snow is pretty typical, actually. Let's go here, and we'll go grab our white source. Green, white. Alright, what do we got off the top? Give me an ooze. Not really what we wanted to see. Let's play a Dryad, and I guess let's just get back our Dryad. And that's not enough to suit up the old Cadillac. Oh, but they have... Alright, cool. Do we just fire off our Meat Hook to negate theirs is the question. I don't think so. Because I know, you know, the minute I fire off the old Meat Hook Massacre, right, they're going to double Field of Ruin. We need to draw one of ours, because Hall of the Storm Giants is definitely an issue. This is a Mull to 5 as well. I have to remember that, but I'm still not excited. So we're drawing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they have enough to fire off the Hall. Man. So we're just at a standstill right now. I wonder if we should have attacked because they Hullbreaker. Alright, that's good enough. Good game, opponent. That's unfortunate. Hullbreaker with nothing left in hand is not really where we want to. This might, actually, well, shoot. Yeah, this is risky, but we're on the draw, and we have our Dryad to catch back up. Oh, this is super awkward. Maybe not, actually. I mean, our hand is pretty redundant at this point. They can kind of... So they're going to take our Blob. Yeah. Really need a land here. Untapped land, correct. So, yeah, I think they just take the Blob here. So this may be a pretty tough matchup for us. We get to draw a card, so please give us a land. Yeah, not ramping here is unfortunate because the binding on turn 3 would have been a nice clean answer to their revealing eye or whatnot, which I think would have been huge if we could have pulled that off. Oh, all right, interesting. Come on. All right. I guess it doesn't really do much. Yeah, let's just get in for 1. And then we'll go ahead and just, yeah, let's just ramp so we don't have to worry about clicking through things. So, let's see here. We'll play Binding of the Old Gods. Guarantee our white source. Ooh. Yeah, we can't. We have to stem the bleeding here, unfortunately. Like, I was considering taking the vampire, but I think with our masker can take care of the vampire, so we just got stem the bleeding here. We're already at 14. Let's see what our opponent does here. They're gonna draw at least one card. Nice. Nice. Draw 2 cards here, probably, because they know about the massacre. Yep, that's exactly what they do. So let's see. We're in a bit of a pickle here for sure, because everything in our hand. All right, whew. This is a pretty huge top deck. Let's grab our white source. It's gonna come into play tapped. Play a forest, and then they have. The problem is they left up 2 white. Granted, it's not super inconspicuous, right? But it somewhat is. Do we just meat hook for 3 here? Yeah, I'm just gonna meat hook for 3. I think, you know, we stop them from gaining cards. We gain a little bit of life back. They have to play a creature if they want to activate Faceless Haven. I think we're fine with that. Oh, Deadly Dispute? Fair. Nice. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So what's this one do? This one is destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. Okay, fracture. Nice. Nice. So, target opponent reveals hand. You choose the 9 card form. Play discard card. Put this one creature you control. Get rid of Ren. Okay. So, I think we just blob here to start getting on the board. Plus, it gives us a blocker for Faceless Haven. Oh, alright. Well, yeah. And now that we have Snakeskin Veil, then we definitely blob here. We can shy it next turn, but I want to start putting, like, a pressure on the board. So I like this, chat. Looking pretty good. They're going to Doomscar. Fair. Fair enough, fair enough. I can't knock them for it. The old board wipe in a creature deck. I like it. I like it. I've done it. I'm genuinely saying I like it because I've done it before. Because no one plays around it, right? If you go, you know, creature, 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 your opponent does what they need to do with the creatures, and then you're like, oh, well, that's Dollhouse, and we can activate. Well, that's kind of what we're here for, right? I wish we could do Kaya plus. Oh, do we wait because of the... Oh, man, I kind of want to wait, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, they're missing land, though. Like, I'm honestly halfway tempted to do that. Dollhouse, activate, get Blob back. Is that horrible? It just makes our Blood in the Snow a little bit weaker, right? We also lose YOLO. Because I want Kaya to do it, right? Alright, whatever. I hope it's not a mistake. Wait. Oh, okay. I did not... You learn something every day. I did not know that worked that way. It becomes a 0/0 construct. Okay, so it loses that keyword ability. Alright, duly noted. I still think minusing with Kaya would have been sweet. Alright, they got a tap land. So we just let Blob do its thing. Do you have another removal spell? I mean, once again, we can play Kaya, minus Kaya, make 2 dudes. They know about Ashaya. Oh, and they know about Blood in the Snow too. Derp. Oh man, looking at our hand was so good for them. So good for them. Nice! They have their own Kaya.
Should be a nice break for that. Too easy.
Man, unfortunately, plussing here is awkward. Right? Oh, I guess we could plus and then use the Snakeskin Veil. to get rid of Kaya and get rid of the Professor Symbology. Then they fire up the Faceless Haven, kill our Kaya. Oh no, because we make another blocker. Okay, that's correct. That's correct.
So many souls troubled.
I mean, do we even care?
Don't just how I showed you. You got
Yeah,
this.
I think so. I think we always care. Cause then, yeah, I like this. Yeah, we'll just Snake Skin Veil. I don't think we're in. I mean, we got 4 or 5 oozes cracking. All right, at least it got it to do its thing, right? I think we can actually race a an exhibition here. You have 1 creature land. Ah, oh, of course, when I fire off. Oh, Jedi. Oh, I'm such a bad player. Such a bad. All right, well, I guess now we're on the plus train, right? That's so funny. Oh, Jedi. I mean, we're still doing it.
Oh, I've got the perfect tools for the job.
Scry, fair enough. They topped, huh? Yeah, I think. And then hold the Dryad so we can keep a blocker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's so funny. There's the exhibition. Eye twitch. Okay. Fair. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. Do we just plus Kaya again? We have lethal on the board. Play a land, quote unquote. Play a land. Plus Kaya. Is there a difference? I don't know. There's too many block variations, right? So I guess we just put the counter here.
I
And
can
then
teach you a thing or two.
present lethal so they have to block. It may keep our Kaya alive. Man. This is... I feel like I could play this. Ah, man, I'm so... Could have had the ooze. And I normally am pretty conservative with our Snakeskin Veil, and maybe I gave Kaya too much credit, right? Our opponent's on... Okay. Alright, we don't lose Kaya here, I don't think. We could. We could. Let's see what they grab. I think I like pressuring them. They can grab an Exile effect. They can grab another exhibition, right? Okay, they're just gonna kill our Kaya outright. Fair. Man, we got rid of Ooze, unfortunately. Unfortunately. I mean, we can also just fire off the... Okay. Do they have... Oh, they get their Kaya back? Is that what they're going to do? Okay. Block here. And then... Sack. Grab the land. Alright, we have borderline nothing but gas left in our deck.
You have no idea who you're messing with.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, give up already. You're outnumbered.
We're doing it. We're doing it. Trying to think if we... Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, alright. I think we have it. Think we have it. It also auto-tapped their faces. Oh, wait. They don't... Do they have... Oh, they don't have enough snow. I didn't even think about that. Wait. They're running such little snow. Good game, opponent. And there we have it. Well, happy friends, that is the deck. And I gotta admit, it actually played out a little better than I anticipated. I felt like there were gonna be games where the deck felt a little clunky, but in all honesty, it really didn't. I'm actually really happy with the build. I do. I think we do have a slight issue against the Epiphany decks, right? But I mean, at this point now, it's going to be difficult to brew and still kind of take that into account, right? One of the best things we could probably do is run some discard, right? Some duresses to count as a sorcery that we can get rid of. We didn't go up against mono white, but we have some action against them. I think it's not horrible, right? You can easily like swap out maybe the grasp for the 3 damage life link spell. Other than that, everything else worked out well. Yeah, I think it was fun. That being said, I'll put it at a 3. I think it's a solid 3. I think you can climb with it, but I don't think you're gonna be like breaking the meta. So, and most of the things in the deck are pretty interchangeable. I think probably, obviously, like Blob and Kaya are probably the most specific cards in the deck, right? The niche cards. Everything else works out pretty well. I still like having a dollhouse in there. We didn't get to really quote unquote go off with it, but yeah, Kaya performed great. The fact that we were able, like, the overwhelmed thing is the consideration, right? So maybe to sneak in another enchantment, we can put in a sunrise or something like that. I don't think we need something like, what is it? Unnatural growth. I think that's a little overkill, right? Our blobs got pretty big, but man, yeah, this deck was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. But until next time, as always, friends, happy gaming.